mobilize. How do we mobilize? And part of this for me is understanding who we're trying to persuade as well. Who people like you and I are trying to persuade here, because I think the mistake we can make is that we try and persuade people who are on the other side, the woke, the elite, whatever, trying to persuade them they're wrong. I think that's a mistake, because I think you're never going to persuade those people. They believe they're right. Those are the people who are pushing these narratives, suppressing information, arresting innocent English people for nothing. I don't think you're ever going to convince those people. But I think there is a mass of people who haven't particularly got strong opinions or feelings at the moment. And those are the people to convince if we mobilise them.
I don't think we need to convince them. I think what we need to do is to make sure everybody can hear what we're saying.
Yeah.
And the more normal people are speaking up on many platforms, in the workplace, at home, on the media, the more people are doing that, the more the average person hears it and will go, well, I think they'll go, that's how I feel. And the more voice, the more sound we can make on that, the more politicians will go, right, the wind's changing here.
Yeah.
And I'm a politician and I just want to be voted in again. I'm noticing the wind change. I'm going to start changing my views and my policies.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
We don't have to win. You know, we could win all the country over. If the politicians still don't care, nothing we can do. But I know politicians are Weasley characters who just want to be elected again. And if we can shout louder and they can see, Jesus, there's 15 million people there who would vote for someone if they have these policies. Well, Labour won the election on 9 million and there's 15 million won in this. I could win.
Yeah.
And that's how our system's supposed to, is that how it's supposed to work.
A lot of our viewers are saying when we're talking about Labour, how crap they are. They do say that Labour won with only 20% of the vote.
20% of the people who were entitled to vote.
Yes.
Yeah. So they won a third of the electorate who voted, but that equates to 20% of all voters.
Yeah.
But 40% didn't vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're ruled by a minority.
Yes.
We're ruled, and I'm not sure our listeners understand this. We are controlled by a party that only got 20% of the electorate's vote, which means that 80% of the electorate didn't vote for them.
Yeah.
If we can mobilise that 80% to get out on the streets, to start saying what they think, they will just crumble and die, this party. They will just wither away because they are by far in the minority. And just saying simple things like, men cannot be women, there's too much immigration into this country, there is no such thing as critical race theory, there is no such thing as being intrinsically racist as being white. All those things, you know, is saying that Islam is not a religion that's suitable for this country, or the Islamic theology and ideology is not appropriate for this country. Just by saying those simple things at dinner parties, to colleagues, just simple sentences will start to make the difference, I think. And that's all these people need to, that 80%, that's all they need to start saying.
Yeah. Last week you said to me, we need to start giving people simple things that they can do.
Yes.
In the fight. And I mean, I was thinking about it all last week, and I'm writing a book at the moment which should be out next month called England, My England. And I've just started a new chapter in the book, all about how individuals can fight back. And depending on your position, what you can do, how you can fight back without losing your job, how you can fight back without ending up in prison, how you can be brave, how you can be courageous, how you can fight sneaky. And this chapter is all about what you can do.
Why not write a book on that, Nick? Why not write a little handbook, how to fight back? Because I think people need that guidance and that direction. But I think that's a great idea that you're putting a chapter on that in your book.
Yeah.
Because I think that's all people need, just a bit of a lead on how to fight against this tyranny that we're experiencing. And the tyranny that gets worse on a daily basis. We're now finding they're holding back information from us deliberately because it doesn't suit their narrative.
Yeah.
It's shocking, and we need to fight against this, and we just need that 80% to understand that they're 80%, not that the Labour Party, in my view, is not in power, not with 20% of the votes. You know, to understand that we are the majority, we just have to be vocal, get out there. And I think Tommy Robinson's doing a march on the 27th, is it 27th of October?
I can't remember what.
Be there or be square, folks, yeah? So I think he's going to London on the 27th of October, although we don't know where he is at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I think people need to mobilise and go with him as well and protest peacefully for this.
Yeah, I think we need to concentrate on the 40% of people who don't vote.
Yes.
Because the people who vote Labour, they like Labour.
Yeah, yeah.
The diehard Labour.
Yeah. Well, I think leave those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Leave them.
Yeah.
The people who voted Tory, after 14 years of shambles, they're going to carry on voting Tory. If that didn't stop them voting Tory, then nothing will.
Unless they see a party emerging that represents their Tory views, which are more likely to be closer to that 8-40%. I don't know.
No. I think
right, okay.
it's the wets
That's a fair point.
who voted
Yes.
Tories.
Yeah.
They're going to carry on voting that way if the party stays the same. Same with Lib Dems. The 40% of people who didn't vote, and that works out at 20 million people.
Wow.
If 5 million, if a quarter of that voted Reform, we'd probably have another government.
Yeah. You're right.
They're the power brokers.
Yeah.
So the ones who like their parties, forget them. That 40% of people, we need to convince them that your vote matters. Your vote is important because you can change the direction. You staying at home and not voting means you're a coward. You staying at home and not voting means you don't care about this country. You staying at home and thinking, this means nothing, my vote's not important, just means you're stupid. People died to get us the vote, and the second the working class got the vote, the elite convinced us. No point voting. You're going to get whatever we say. Don't vote. Stay home, watch TV.
Yeah.
No point voting. They played a trick on you.
Yeah.
Your ancestors would be appalled at you staying at home
Yeah.
and not voting.
Yeah.
That's what we need to change.
I'm not sure they played a trick on the voters. What I think they did was, people were voting, and then what they realised is their votes for a party that made promises, those promises were never honoured. So they realised it was a waste of time. And they've only been given two choices, Labour and Tories, and no matter which one they vote for, ends up not delivering what they promised. I think that's what's happened. That's why people don't vote now. I don't think they're stupid. I think they realise, but I think you're right, there's a third way. It's for them to understand how much power they have, basically.
Exactly.
And to somehow mobilise that is the key.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers, I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.